Alright, so we got some information on Fortnite and the Nintendo Switch 2. So somehow I was able to pre-order a Switch 2. So back on April 24th, if you weren't aware, I do live on a farm, and I heard a bunch of coyotes, so I got up at 3 a.m. in the morning and went out to check on all my animals because the coyotes were howling right near them. And after doing that, I came back in and I couldn't go back to sleep, so it was about 3:30 a.m. and I just loaded up Walmart after trying to get one all night, and there it was. It was available. So I added it to the cart and it let me pre-order it. But I had been trying for hours upon hours before that, and I just couldn't get one. They were sold out instantly. So the official Fortnite Twitter account released a blog post about Fortnite and the Switch 2. So let's take a look at everything we can anticipate with the Switch 2 and Fortnite. Let's see. So it says Fortnite comes to Nintendo Switch 2 on June 5th. In some places, that's today. In other places, it's just one more sleep. So I'm pretty sure mine ships tomorrow. I'll do a full unboxing on it as well. So then it says, let's get right into what you want to know. And the first bullet point is the worst one. It's only 60 FPS. Are you kidding me? What happened to 120 FPS? Okay, so a little disappointing right off the rip. And then it says higher resolution. That's not bad. Greater view distances. See more things in the distance. Okay, that's good because playing Fortnite on the Nintendo Switch right now is pretty bad. Higher quality textures, higher quality shadows, and higher quality water rendering. Nice water, it says. What? Clothing physics enabled. Hey, this next one's good. The replay system is here. Relive your best Battle Royale matches from another perspective. So this will be good for my kids. My youngest son always tells me he has these amazing matches on Switch, but then I can't see him. Because if I wasn't there, obviously he can't show me a replay because there was no replay. So that'll be good. Capture video clips using the capture button. I will test that out for sure, and we'll see how good or bad the capture quality is. Game chat supported. Stream your Fortnite gameplay with up to 3 other friends. And then there's an asterisk, and it says, where's the asterisk at? It must be at the bottom of the blog. Hold on, let me go down. Ah, yes, it is. It says, until March 31st, game chat can be used without a Nintendo Switch Online membership. Afterwards, a Nintendo Switch Online membership will be required to use game chat. What? Why do you need a membership to chat? Well, that's weird. Anyway, next point says, for the hardcore tech folks, full desktop renderer, high detail geometry, distance field ambient occlusion in docked mode, shadow casting, pointing lights, and high quality effects. What does all that mean? I have no idea. Now this next one's interesting. It says mouse controls supported with Joy-Con 2 starting June 7th. So not even right away. You gotta wait a few days. Then it says before we get into the mouse controls, let's see how Fortnite looks on Nintendo Switch 2. And they show us a few images here. So this one actually looks pretty good. I definitely can see a difference in the background, the rendering like they were talking about with the distances. The skins actually look good. They're not low quality textures like I'm used to on the normal Switch. Even the builds look better. A lot of people actually say if you have bad graphics, they'll be like, oh, Nintendo Switch graphics. You got Nintendo Switch graphics, that's terrible. But those actually look pretty good. And then they show us an image of Lego. So again, looking at this, visually speaking, I couldn't even tell that's the Switch. That is pretty impressive. I gotta see it in real time though. And then they even show us that Fortnite Festival is doable on the Switch 2. So when my daughter was in the hospital with her latest surgery, I brought my Switch so I could grind Festival, and it was not the best experience, to be honest. There was a lot of input delay, the graphics were terrible, and it just wasn't that fun. Now, playing on the PS5, it's a whole different story. But I'm hoping on the Switch 2, it's going to be just as good as the PS5. And then they showed a UEFN island. Unreal Editor. So you can edit maps on the Switch? I don't know if that's actually true or not, but looks like we're on a roller coaster here. So visually, it looks amazing. Now what's this mouse controls business? It says, mouse controls with Joy-Con 2 controllers unlock with patch 36 on June 7th. June 7th obviously is the new season. It says you'll be able to aim using one or both of the Joy-Con 2 controllers as a mouse, plus navigate the UI. Oh man, I wonder what that's going to do for people's aim. Because normally when you play a Switch player, you could tell. But now if they're going to be able to use it like a mouse, I think the aiming's going to be pretty good. It says with mouse controls, the right analog stick will be disabled. and you'll rotate your character by using the selected Joy-Con 2 controllers as a mouse. There will be a cursor visible while navigating the UI. If using the right or both controllers as a mouse, the ZR button will be treated as primary click. If using the left controller as a mouse, the ZL will be treated as primary click. You'll be able to enable mouse controls on Nintendo Switch 2 by, and then it shows you how to do it. I'm going to go into the settings and configure it. Using left mouse controls, we recommend you also enable the swap movement thumbstick. This will have your character move with the right thumbstick instead of the left thumbstick, generally making things smoother for left-handed players. Okay, I'm left-handed, so I'd have to try that. And it says mouse controls on Nintendo Switch 2 will be usable in all Fortnite Battle Royale experiences on June 7th. And then it literally shows everything. Battle Royale, Zero Build, Team Rumble, Reload, Reload Zero Build, Fortnite OG, OG Zero Build. I don't know what to think of that, using the Joy-Cons as a mouse. I'm going to have to play around with that. I stink with a mouse. I can't aim to save my life. I'm an analog controller player through and through. But if you're used to PC and you're used to a mouse, you could probably dominate using a Joy-Con mouse, for sure. Next up is the best part about this. You get a free item. It's not a skin, unfortunately. It's an emote. It says, a wish come true, get the wishing star emote. Until March 31st, 2026. So you got less than a year, but still a pretty decent amount of time. You'll get the wishing star emote the first time you log into Fortnite on Nintendo Switch 2. Grab a shooting star, make a wish, and throw it back. Can't go on an air ride with it, but it's the next best thing. The wishing star emote may be available for purchase in the Fortnite shop at a later date beyond March 31st. Okay, so again, Fortnite is not doing exclusive things anymore, so yes, this is technically exclusive for half a year, and then it's coming to the item shop, or could come to the item shop. So in that regard, you do have an exclusive emote just for half a year, and then everyone can get it. That's just like the PS5 bundle that Fortnite released. There's that PS5, quote, exclusive skin, but then they also said, hey, just kidding, we're going to bring this to the item shop eventually. So unfortunately, it's not like a Wildcat skin, it's just an emote, which everyone can obtain eventually. And then there's some frequently asked questions as well. Let's see if there's anything worthwhile covering here. So one of them says, can I use my Nintendo Switch controllers like the Pro controller to play Fortnite on the Switch 2? So the original controllers is what they're asking, and it says yes, you can use your Nintendo Switch controllers, including the Pro controller, to play Fortnite on the Switch 2. However, mouse controls do not work with the original Joy-Con controllers. And then the next one's about connecting accounts. They want to know if you've already connected it with the original Switch, do I need to do that again? And the answer is no. If you're already connected with the original Switch, you don't need to do it again. Now the next one is huge. It says, what Fortnite games are available to play on Nintendo Switch 2? And the answer, Save the World is unavailable to play on Nintendo Switch 2. However, all other Fortnite games are available to play. No, there's no Save the World. Are you kidding me? It's 2025. How can we not play Save the World on the Nintendo Switch 2? I get not on the Nintendo Switch, but the Nintendo Switch 2? Save the World can be played on the PS4 for crying out loud. That is just severely disappointing. I know not a lot of people play Save the World anymore, but it's still a good game mode, and it deserves the respect to be put on the Switch 2. That's just crazy. The Switch is all about playing on the go, and they exclude one of the primary game modes in Fortnite. And then the very last quote says, whether at home or on the go, switch to another great place to play Fortnite. Yeah, except Save the World, am I right? Okay, so a little disappointing all around here. Graphically speaking, I think Fortnite on the Switch 2 is going to be amazing. With this mouse control feature, I think that's going to be pretty intuitive as well. However, a lot of disappointments here. 60 FPS instead of 120, dumb. No Save the World, dumb. No exclusive skin for the Switch 2, dumb. I think that's about it. No, but I'm looking forward to this. I love the Switch, and I hope to love the Switch 2 as well. Not just to play Fortnite, but I love playing RPG games. Tactical RPG games are my favorite, but anything on the go is amazing. When I'm doing a 10-hour car ride and someone else is driving, I mean, it's pretty boring. I like to play on the Switch. But like I said, I should get this tomorrow. I'll do an unboxing, I'll show some Fortnite gameplay, and we'll test the capture function, and I'll show you the graphics. I won't be showing you Save the World though. But if there's anything specifically you want to see when I do get this, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to work it into the video. So there you go, Nintendo Switch 2 and Fortnite coming starting tomorrow. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like is always appreciated, and don't forget to use my Support-A-Creator Code, which is Tabor time.